Hi all, if you are a fresher or a college student or a professional who are looking for a new changes in the job market, so this video is totally for you. So in this video, I will be covering top 30 SQL interview questions and answer from beginner to advanced level. So if you had any doubts, meanwhile you can ask me on the comment section. Let's get started. So in this DB Developer YouTube channels, we make videos on Java, Spring Boot, microservices, REST API development. So let's get started with the interview questions. So first questions they can ask like what is SQL and why it is used. So it's a definite questions that is asked for the every candidate. So SQL is a structured query language is used to interact with relational database. Relational database are like MySQL database. It allows user to query, insert, update and delete data. Next question is that what is the different type of SQL statement? So you can explain like different types like DDL, DML, DCL and TCL. So DDL is a data definition language. So here we can use create, alter and drop statement. DML is the data manipulation language. We can use select, insert and update or delete operations. And DCL is the data control language. Here we can use grant, revoke, and TCL is the transactional or the transaction control language where we use for commit, rollback and the save point. Next, they can ask like what is the difference between where and having clause. So this clause, where clause is used to filter the row before grouping and having clause is to filter groups after aggregation. So here you can take an example like we want to select the department and we want to count in each department how many employees are there. So that's why count star is there from employee. So grouping by department. So that is department wise it will group the employee and having count star greater than 5. So it will return the department where the employees is having more than 5 employee. So that kind of department they will return. Next they will ask you like a difference between inner join, left join and the right join. So join means if there is a two table is there and we want to match between those two tables and find a new tables. So in that case we can use inner join when we are returning only the matching rows. Left join means there is a left table, right table is there. So return all from the left table plus the matches. And right join is that all the elements from the right table will be returns plus the matches, and so the total number of match query. They will definitely ask like what is primary key and can a table have more than one. So primary key uniquely identifies each rows in a table. So like primary key is key something like we have in the college we have like our registration ID or the college roll number. So that's are called the primary ID. So a table can have only one primary keys which can be composite more than one columns. So if you combine like 2 or 3 columns and we can make one composite key that can be acted as in primary. So what is foreign key? So foreign key is a columns that link to the primary key in another table ensuring the referential integrity. So foreign key like we have a table called called the employee tables. On this employee tables we have one called the like Aadhaar card and we have one Aadhaar card table is there. So that one Aadhaar digit address all these things are there. So that case Aadhaar card is the or the card ID is the foreign key for this employee table. So what are null values in SQL? So null represent a missing or unknown values. So it is not the same as zero or empty string. So null is different from zeros and empty string. So you can use is null to check for the null values. So if you are still watching the video, I request you please subscribe to the channel, and if you have any doubts you can ask me on the comment section. Next is that what is the purpose of grouping by clause? So it groups rows sharing a values often used with aggregation functions like sum, count and average. So these are the like aggregation functions. So actually in the last slides we told like the grouping by department. So here we can use the grouping by department, and the each department we can find the average salary. So what is the difference between union and union all? So union it removes duplicates and union all it keeps all the rows including duplicate. What is the use of like operator? So it is used for the pattern matching like percentage. So if you want to use like a like operator to filter the names, so the tell the customer names which name start with A, so we can use select star from customer where like name like a percentage. So what is a subquery? Provide an example. A subquery is a query nested inside the another query. So here select name from employee is in one query, and where salary greater than within bracket select average salary from employee, it's a subquery. So what is a correlated subquery? The correlated subquery depend on the outer query for its value. So it's a outer query within the bracket, it's a outer query. So it will be depending whatever the output it will come, it will depends and it will give the result. So it is related to subquery. Then here it is for the some advanced level questions. So previously I explained you like different type of join. Other than inner left right join, we have like full join, cross join and self join. Full join, here all rows when there is a match in either, so it will return all the rows. And the cross join is the Cartesian product of both the table. And self join, if both join we want to both table we want to join by itself. For example, employee table, on employee table matched self join with another employee table to find the manager name for each and employee. So the manager can be employee as well. So that was one of the example. So how do you find duplicate records in a table? So for that we can check the count, having count star. So count star will be giving like a number of records which is duplicates. How we will find the duplicates? For example, here we are use grouping by columns. So for example, the salary of the employee. So we can mention the salary can be for more than 2-3 employees, they can have like same salary. So if you want like for example salary of thousands, how many employees are getting, so we can use this salary and the 1000 employee. For example, there are 3 employees who got the 1000, so if it will greater than 1, those type of records will be printed. How do you get the second highest salary from a table? So it is like generic question, second highest, nth highest salary. So instead of second highest, I should write the nth highest query for that. But anyhow, so for the second highest salary, from a subquery we can find the highest salary, and we will check, and from the outer query, if that maximum salary is greater than less than that salary maximum salary, then it will get the second highest. So you can use limit and offset also to get like nth highest salary. So what is normalization? Explain. 1 NF, 2 NF, 3 NF. So 1 NF is no repeating groups or the atomic value. So 2 NF is the whatever the functions that facilities 1 NF have, according with that no partial dependency on the composite key. And 3 NF is along with the 2 NF, there will be no transitive dependency will be there. Let me know if you want like customized video on this normalization or not. So what is denormalization and why it is used? So denormalization combines table to reduce joins and improve the read performance, typically in the reporting system. It's mainly used in the reporting system. So they can ask like they will definitely ask this type of question, difference between a delete, truncate, drop, because this looks like similar. So delete is used to delete the row, and that can be rollback. Rows can be rollback. Truncate, it deletes the rows quickly, but rollback cannot be done in the same day. And drop, it is used to entirely remove the database. They delete the entire tables or the table schema also deleted along with the values. So how to change a columns data type in a table? So for example, a columns for example id or is of like a character. So varchar is there, so there is some limitation is there, and we want to increase that limitation or the data type. So we can use alter table, then table name we can use, then modify, then columns name, and with the new data type name. Like that it work mostly on the MySQL DB. Then they can ask like different type of constant that is used in the SQL. So we can use not null, so unique, check, default, primary key. So those type of are the constant. By name itself it is clear like what and they are used for. Then they will ask you like row number functions. So they can ask like what is a window functions and provide an example using row number. So window functions perform calculation across a set of rows related to the current row. So in the row number we will be give a particular row, and depending upon that we will fetch the result. Then they can ask like what is a common table expression and how it differs from the subquery. So common table expression is a temporary results set used within a query. It improves the readability and can be recursive. So we have heard about the subquery, but if you see there is a select star from department average where the average salary is like that, and here with department average as, and we have written one query, so that is act as an common table expression. Then how to perform pagination in the SQL. So we can use limit and offset in the case of MySQL, and in the case of PostgreSQL, then we can use a row number and between with that particular ranges. Then this is most commonly asked questions: what are indexes and how they can improve the performance. Then you can define like cluster index, non-cluster index, and you can explain like different with some of the example. But in generic, indexes are data structures that speed up search queries by allowing fast lookup, especially on the large data tables. However, they can like slow down the insert or update operations. Next question is that what is difference between cluster and non-cluster index. So cluster index is determine the physical order of the data. So for one per table, so there will be only one indexes for a table. And non-cluster index separate the data and content pointers to the actual row. It can have like multiple. Then they can ask you like what is transaction and explain the ACID property. So transaction is a sequence of operation treated as a single logical unit. So A for atomicity, C for consistency, I for isolation, D for durability. So it means whatever the changes is there, that should be committed at the end of the transaction. Isolation is that the two separate transactions should not like interfere each other. Consistency is that database should be remains valid. And atomicity is that if the operation is successfully, then only it should commit it, and else roll back it. Then what is the difference between rollback and commit? So commit, as I say, like commit to save the change permanently, and rollback revert the changes to the last point or the last transaction. Then how do we handle deadlock in SQL? That is also one of the like asked questions. So we can tell like keep the transaction short, access table in a consistent order, use low isolation level if possible, use databases, logs and monitoring tools to detect the deadlock. So that is also one of the asked questions for the experienced person. And that also asked question for the experienced person: what are stored procedure and how are they used? The stored procedure are pre-compiled SQL code blocks that performs action. They improve performance and encapsulate logic. So we have created one procedure called get employee by department in department by varchar. So we can use like begin, ends and that query like that. It will work. So that is also asked for the experienced person. And if there is our SQL queries is giving a slow response, then how we can optimize that? So first we should avoid using select star as it will give us the all the record, and use the proper indexes. Do not use join every time. The filter using the where clause. Check the execution plan. So like that type of things we can use, and we can use CTS as well, or the temporary tables. So that's all with the video. If you have any doubts, you can ask me on the comment section, and please subscribe to the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching the video.